So just the other day, Retro Fighters announced their wireless Striker DC, their wireless Dreamcast controller. Pre-orders went live, available on places like Stone Age Gamer, Retro Fighters Direct, and a few other places. But they did wind up sending me a pre-production version for purpose of testing out, sharing with you guys. And there is a lot that I like about this thing. We're going to be testing it out, checking out how all the inputs work through a test program and all that good stuff, see how the wireless range is, all those types of things. But I did find one issue that concerned me a bit, and it may just be due to this being a pre-production sample. I did make them aware of it. This thing is completely firmware upgradable, the controller and the little dongle. So we'll touch on that later on in the video as a just in case. But here we go. So just like the original Striker DC, we got all our face buttons pretty much the same size as the original, very similar. We have a nicer D-pad in my opinion. Then we do have a Hall Effect analog stick here, which performs great. And then we also have our L and R buttons up here. These are like instant boom boom. These are analog, and we will test out the sensitivity on that in a moment. So here we go. The dongle, you just plug it in and you can, attach your VMU and use it that way, power on your system and get going. But some people are like, man, having it like this, like now I can't look at my VMU. There are a few games that will display status, information in game, some things just animations and whatnot. But most games, not really that important, to be honest with you. There are a few games like some of the NFL games and then like Sonic Shuffle where there could be pertinent information on here, selecting your plays secretly, that kind of thing. So with this little 4-inch cable, this being over here, I could understand some people may not like that, but I don't know any other way they could have done it. I don't know if they could have incorporated it into the controller and it's still being wireless. I don't know, but that's where we're at right now. So let's go ahead and sync up the controller. The little light is blinking, little sync button down there, but I should just be able to just press start and jump into it. So we instantly synced. Now I do have a test program here that we're going to run through. Now they do say this has a 30-foot range. I don't know how many people are going to play their Dreamcast 30 feet away, but just in case you are, maybe you have a huge projector screen out in the field somewhere, I will go ahead and test that out. I have marked in my recording area, which is a garage, 10 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet. So we're going to try that out once we get into the hardware test here. So controller test. So the controller test, I do have both an original and this plugged in. We'll compare some of these results in a second. But as you see up here, as I press A, it's going to blink. So I'm going to walk away. I do have a wireless mic on, so my voice is not going to change. But okay, so right in front of the receiver, and then 10 feet away from the receiver, 20 feet away from the receiver, pressing A. And I'm going to push it a little more than 30 feet. And I cannot see the monitor anymore, so you're going to have to tell me, but I am mashing the A button. We're a little over 30 feet away, but there we go. So A, B, or A, B, I'm hitting the wrong buttons. A, B, X, Y, all registers, left, right, down, up. And these, I like the way this D-pad responds and registers. Not my favorite D-pad in the world, but it does respond very well. I haven't had any issues with it. Doing my dragon punches, my Hadokis in Street Fighter. Like the D-pad works great. One of their best D-pads I think that they've made. I have had no issues with diagonals, anything like that. Registers just fine. Whereas with the original, I kind of like, it works okay, but just the way it feels, it's a little smaller. Never really cared about this D-pad too much, but maybe you're accustomed to it. But I feel like this D-pad responds better than that one, in my opinion. And then our analog sticks, we can, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of show because there is going to be that range there. Let's see when we max out. So we max out at 127. I want to say it's about a millimeter before hitting. Yeah, just slightly before hitting the plastic on the side. And I believe that's the same on all. Yeah, about a millimeter. So I think the sensitivity feels fine to me, maxing out slightly before getting to the edge. So there's that. You know, and it's very accurate too. Like I press up, only up registers, down registers, left. You know, if I go at an angle, then it starts to show, you know, the different left and right, or left and down, right and down, right and up type of thing. With the original Dreamcast controller, I've tested this with a few. It's kind of like, for me, it's very hard to get it like dead center in any direction. See, I feel like I'm pressing directly up, but it's registering slightly to the right as well. And then the analog triggers here. So if you just hit left, like, you know, the bumper there, just instantly registers 255 from 0 to 255 in an instant. So that's nice that you have that. If you want those instant, you know, clicks, instant button presses. And then the analog triggers, there's going to be like a certain amount of force you put down before it starts to register. So we're getting pushing, and then getting down to there. Then it starts to register as we go down. Getting to 255, like right before it would click. Just slightly before. So you got like a couple millimeters of, like maybe a millimeter or two of travel distance before it starts to register. And then, you know, it goes to max slightly before, you know, going all the way down. That's the same on both. With a original Dreamcast controller, the triggers I feel are a little more sensitive. Like they start to register earlier, but it still has like where it goes to 255 right before all the way down. So just this one starts to register slightly sooner than pressing down on this, but very similar, very similar. Now the one issue that I do have, and I'm going to point it out right now, that I've already brought up to them, hopefully this is something that's either just the version I have or it could be fixed through firmware, but powering off my system, okay? Unplugging the dongle. As you could see, the dongle is still powered on, and the controller is still connected to it. So what I'm gathering is that it's drawing power from my VMU. And I've had it happen. I don't know if I see, I unplugged it. Now the light's gone. Plug it back in. The light turns back on. I've had where the VMU, I just put brand new batteries in this right before, oh, there we go. I put brand new batteries in this just before filming this. And I did the same thing, 2 different VMUs, same thing happens. Please change batteries. So there's something with the power, pulling power from this. And it's going to be the same if you leave it plugged in to the system where it's still drawing power from the VMU. And I would be concerned just because it's already giving me an error, please change battery on a fresh brand new pack of batteries. Unplug it, goes off. So if that's the way the final version is, you're going to want to unplug your VMU. But hopefully this is something that's either just the model I have, or it could be fixed, you know, with a firmware update. I did reach out to them, bring this up, and they said they're looking into it and that this is not something that they had seen previously. And as you see, like the controller's not connected. So now it's, you know, just blinking because it wants to connect. And if I turn the controller on, it connects and it's solid. The system is off. My VMU down here is tripping for some reason just because of that power. Like, I don't know, something with that power going on down there. I've been having to, like, you know, so, hey, I don't know. It's just a weird thing, but just in case this is an issue, I brought it up. I showed you guys. That kind of annoys me a bit, but yeah, unplug it. No worries after that, but, you know, a lot of people are just going to leave it in there, right? I don't know. But overall, if that wasn't an issue, I really like this. Everything registers fine. It's got a nice weight to it. It rumbles, all that good stuff. It's a nice controller. This would definitely be my go-to on the Dreamcast. Hopefully just that little issue gets figured out. But thanks for watching. Bye.